Hello, I'm Keith Bramwell, and I'm a professor at the university in the poultry department. The majority of the people that are looking to raise chickens really are looking for eggs. You know, something they can just go out and get fresh eggs in the morning. You know, there are some that then want to take, okay, if we have extra birds, might want to cull some of those. We might want to, have some in the pot and cook for dinner. And that's kind of a less popular way for a backyard chicken producer to go. Most of them is for the meat. And wake up in the morning, hear the rooster crowing, hear the chickens cackling in the yard, see them out there, and there's kind of that feel too. But for just their own personal use, mostly it's for egg production. One of the thoughts is if you want eggs, you've got to have roosters. And that's not true. Our commercial chickens, particularly some of the more common breeds, they've been bred and raised for years and years and years for egg production. And so you do not need a rooster. They need proper nutrition, proper housing. Nature will take its course in the spring, summer months, falls, when the days are long. They're naturally going to want to lay if they're a good, healthy bird, and then a rooster is not necessary. Now, obviously, if you want to hatch chicks, you need that rooster, but not to get eggs. In raising chickens, particularly if you're kind of a beginner, you need to look at your space availability you have. For day-old chicks, you want to keep in an area where you can keep the draft off of them, wind off them, keep them warm. You want to provide a heat source for them. But as they become adults, you get into a situation where ideally you would have them out in the open. They can graze, they can go eat some, forage for some of their own food sources. The minimum with some of our large chickens like this, a minimum you probably want maybe 3 to 4 square feet per bird. Some people can do less, and that's fine. But most people are going to want to give them as much as possible, so you're going to want to give them a big open range and field. But you want to make sure that you can house them at night, secure them from predators, from rain, snow, wind, whatever. And in those situations, you probably want to go down and get about 2 square feet per bird, maybe less. But that's only for like nighttime use, and then the day you give them a little bit more. And as far as when we're feeding our chickens, as far as giving them any of the extra stuff, our table scraps and everything, that's great. There's people that'll feed, just the leftovers from the dinner table, or the vegetables or the fruits they get out of their own orchard or garden. And they do great with it, they'll love it. Don't make that the primary source of their food. Give them their balanced diet. It's formulated for that. Let them have that as kind of dessert or a treat. Even eggs, you can give chicken eggs. Kind of funny, give them the eggs that they lay, but don't give them to them raw. Cook them, so they don't resemble the egg that they had, maybe some scrambled egg, maybe the shells, whatever. People do that. It's a good source of protein for them. So they really can eat a lot of different things, and they do very well on those types of supplemental diets. Probably the best tip I can give for a backyard enthusiast that just wants to get into chickens: learn, read, talk to as many people you can. Read from good sources, look for science about chickens, education. Like I said, we've learned a lot about them. Go to universities, go to extension offices, talk to 4-H leaders, go to poultry shows where people have experience raising birds. Probably the biggest tip I can give. Be careful who you hear information for, because everybody's got an opinion on something, but make sure that they've got some experience on it. And that's the big thing, is just talk to as many people you can, learn as much as you can, read as much as you can, and then you'll do well. And then be flexible, also be flexible to make adjustments for your situation.